So, fuck yeah. I wanted to make sure we get some quality bangers in here and make it a little bit of a longer video because it's been a while since the last part. But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get right into the fucking trenches of this shit, man. I don't get how AA games can score higher than fucking big budget AAA games. Like, come on, what the fuck? So how can AA games score higher than AAA games? AAA, triple fucking A. I agree with this guy. I wholeheartedly agree. Because everyone knows that to get more quality games, more fleshed out games, and games with no bugs, no glitches, no things like that where crazy shit's happening, and it's a fully fleshed out, playable experience, you just gotta pump in a bunch more money into it. And that is AAA gaming. Digital only platforms are... That's why PC is fundamentally irrelevant for me. Still got your PS2? Maybe some PS2 games? Go ahead and plug that in, put a PS2 game in there, any PS2 game in there, and you'll be in the game playing just fine. Grab your PS4 or PS5 right now, Xbox One, whatever the fuck you got. Plug in any game that you don't have currently downloaded or have never owned, and let me know what it says right before the game launches. That's right, because almost every game now has a day one patch, day one update, or maybe they gotta download other parts of the game because not everything is guaranteed to be on the disc nowadays. Indie games, here we go, are not worth mentioning in the discussion because the quality of them are usually very low compared to AAA standards. Yes, because the quality of a video game is not if it plays well or it's fun to play. It's directly tied to how many pixels are on the screen and how many hair follicles you can see on Nathan Drake's ass. That's exactly what makes a video game really good or high quality. If the graphics are hyper realistic enough, if it looks like real life or realistic, like what the what? They may be fun. Fun? In a video game? I can't be having fun in a video game unless the characters and the environment look like I'm just walking outside of my front door right now. Okay? I don't want to play any of this indie garbage pixelated trash, bro. They may be fun to play, which is, you know, what matters, because a video game is something you play? Who would have thought that the important factor of something you're interacting with, not a movie, but something you interact with, which is the whole premise of a video game, because if it's not a video game, you might as well be watching a movie. So if it's not fun, why fucking bother in the name of goddamn Reggie? What does it matter how it looks if the game itself is fun to play? Like, you're literally saying it may be fun. But the vast majority are games you could have played on your Super Nintendo, which was arguably one of the best consoles of all time. So I don't even know what the... I don't even know how that's an insult, because that's how he's trying to use it. Like, you could have played these games on your Super Nintendo. They really should never be part of the conversation. Typical elitist shit. Like, if the graphics don't look like fucking... If I can't see every skin cell just developing and dividing, or like in real time, just his cells dividing in the mitochondria, pulling the fucking amino acids across a protein chain, then it's a trash-ass game. It needs to look super realistic. Game Pass. Rental service without ownership. No fucking way. No way. You're telling me that the service that is designed to let you try and play as many games as possible for a low monthly fee doesn't let you own the games unless you buy them? Why didn't anybody tell me? Netflix, rental service without ownership. No way. If you wanted to own the games, go buy them. This game looks boring. No voice acting. So this is a text fest. This is a flop. Oh, fuck. I don't want to read. Games without voice acting aren't worth it. Games made in the 80s and 90s had voice acting and reading. Purely just text-based game equals fail in a 2021 market. Period. Can't change my mind. Dude, did fucking, did Broken Games write this? I don't want to fucking read. That's pussy shit. Holy shit, oh my god. For someone who doesn't want to read, he sure does write a bunch of paragraphs that he expects people to read. Played hundreds, pretty much hundreds of them, and all of them, zero voice acting, aren't as good. I skip almost every line of text unless it's a cutscene or spoken. I don't need to read anything in any video game to be able to get every secret and beat every game. I've lived this for 30 plus years. I rarely ever die in any games I play and the stories never really matter. How do you know the stories never really matter if you're skipping all the fucking dialogue? Just take the L. JRPGs were dead until Persona 5 brought them back. Tell me your first JRPG was Persona 5 without telling me your first JRPG was Persona 5. If Persona 5 didn't release, Square probably wouldn't... Wait, Square? Square probably wouldn't have made another Dragon Quest? How long was it for Dragon Quest to get another entry into the series? Bro, Dragon Quest is like one of the first JRPGs. What are you talking about? Dragon Quest is the granddaddy JRPG. That came before Final Fantasy, I'm pretty sure. Most indie Here we go again. What is with these guys shitting on indie games? You never see these guys shitting on any AAA games. Like anything that EA or Activision, Ubisoft, any of these huge multi-billion-dollar companies who pump out the same shit every other year, every single year, all the fucking time, microtransactions, everything. Like the whole shebang, battle passes, this is all this, paid DLC. You never hear them talk trash about any of that type of greed. They're always shitting on indie games made by sometimes less than 10 people, sometimes one person, a very small group of people. They're shitting on them, even though some of these games are incredible and fun. Like, what kind of fucking attitude is that? I guarantee he never complains about fucking Sony or any of these other fucking huge companies that make goddamn everything's got to be a blockbuster or it's trash. Everything's got to be a huge event, a gang-busting 10,000 quadrillion multi-million seller, bro. Like, what the fuck? What happened to just, is this game fun? Oh, it is? All right, cool, I'll play it. What happened to that? Because when I grew up, that's all I give a fuck about, and that's all I care about right now. Anyways, most indie games are platformers, puzzle games, etc., with the exception of a few that aren't. That many games out, oh my god, punctuate, bro. That many games outside of those few genres, and even why did he separate the fucking this is all one sentence and there's not even a period. Even indie games that are in other genres like Remnant from the Ashes, which I was playing right now, always lack the polish of their AAA counterparts. What do you mean the polish? You think most AAA games are polished? Where have you been the last 10 years? Brilliant video. The type of person who objects to difficulty settings would probably argue that people in wheelchairs shouldn't be allowed to use lifts and should learn to use the stairs like able-bodied people. I think a recent example of a game that got this right is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There are 3 separate difficulty settings: combat, exploration, and puzzles. Whether you love story-based exploration or insanely challenging combat and unforgiving puzzles, it's catered for everyone. You are able to enjoy the game in the way you enjoy playing. And that game, because it tried to appeal to different people at the same time, is why it's one of the worst Tomb Raider games to ever come out. Like, that's not a good Tomb Raider game at all. But I'm not even gonna get into that. I want to talk about his first line. The type of person who objects to difficulty settings would probably argue that people in wheelchairs shouldn't be allowed to use lifts and should learn to use the stairs like able-bodied people. To equate some guy who can't walk and in real life needs to use lifts or, wheelchair accessible ramps and stuff like that, equating that to a able-bodied person, a regular schmo Joe Schmo, a regular gaming journalist who sucks at video games, equating that person in a wheelchair to a person who is just a regular guy but is just bitching about a difficulty in a video game is the most disingenuous thing I've ever fucking heard. How can you fucking say that? Especially when there are plenty of non-able-bodied people who are quadriplegic, have like deformities and issues. Some people can only play with their mouths or their feet, still beating games hard as like Sekiro, Dark Souls, and shit like that. So, if anything, this works against your argument. You made a fucking false equivalency. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Why would a person who says that someone who's able-bodied should be able to just get good at a game argue that they wouldn't want people in real life who actually have disabilities in real life want them to be able to not want them to use lifts or wheelchair accessible ramps and shit like that? That makes zero fucking sense. I really can't quite put my finger on what it is exactly, but Xbox gamers give off virgin energy to me. Coming from the guy who played with his controllers like they were Barbie dolls. I really hope Sony, I actually like that word, Sony is up next in the Me Too scandals in the gaming industry, because they definitely need to be reckoned with. They want to censor Japanese games and destroy people's art. They need to pay the consequences. Let's hope one of these journalists got the dirt on them. Yeah, because my video games are being censored by Sony. I mean, I could buy them somewhere else, but I really hope that people are getting sexually abused in the workforce. I really hope people are being sexually abused at Sony because my video games aren't showing enough anime tits. Shin Megami Tensei 5 looks like a PS2 game. It must look really good then. What is this? Why are we insulting PS2 now? Why are we doing that? What? Did you not play on PS2? Those games were amazing. And at the time, they were mind-blowing. This Tony Polanco guy? Yeah, we got a few of his tweets in here, bro. He says... So, I guess that old gamer guy was asking what's the most important parts of a video game to you. And I have not seen anyone put gameplay last until I saw this guy. He's like, story, graphics, gameplay dead last. I've played titles that are objectively bad gameplay-wise because the story and characters were good. I also will not play a game that is visually unappealing. You know what, to each their own, but objectively, gameplay, I feel like gameplay, objectively, maybe subjectively mostly, but I think the core thing that a game needs to do is have good gameplay, or at least the because I know some games lack gameplay. I'm not going to be ignorant to that, like Detroit Become Human or Until Dawn or like The Walking Dead and games like that who the fuck is calling me? But anyways, games like that take a backseat with their gameplay because they want to tell a story and be a little bit more cinematic and shit like that. But video games, down to the core, are interactive. It's an interactive medium. You pick up a controller, whatever, and you interact with the game, interact with the world. So bare minimum, and even in games like that, the interactivity needs to be somewhat interesting and not clunky, not like, you know, it has to function well and make you want to like go for different routes or different endings or pick up different objects and look around in the world or interact with the characters. So putting that shit dead last makes no sense to me. That makes no sense. Go watch a movie. Literally go watch a movie. And it actually makes sense that he would put gameplay last because he does not even finish games that he reviews. So, you know, take that for what you will. Now, he deleted this tweet, so I had to go to my Discord because I remember someone posting it there. But playing FPS or first-person shooters on the PS5 with the DualSense has ruined FPS games on every other platform. I mean, you could plug in a DualSense on a PC and use the haptics on there, but whatever. I'm gonna assume he just wants to play on consoles. I just played Doom Eternal on the Xbox Series X, and it felt off without the DualSense. The DualSense, the haptic feedback. It's like experiencing sex without a condom, then slapping one on. It's just not the same. I don't think you've had sex then. Literally comparing sex to a fucking DualSense controller. Oh my god, you virgin. You straight up turbo virgin. PC gamers, you gotta pay online on console. You gotta pay for online on consoles. But do you have Game Pass? Yes. Then shut the fuck up. What? Those things have... Look. Yeah, sure. We pay online for... we pay to play online, and we literally pay to access our own internet that we already paid for. But you guys pay for Game Pass, so that's the same thing as us paying to use our own internet we already pay for. Okay. Game Pass is brainwashing people into believing no game is worth the price it's at. That's amazing. Yes! Yes! So if Game Pass is brainwashing people into not paying full price for these fucking games day one, when they're half the price a month or two later, that's more than fine for me, bro. It's cool to play on PC, Switch, Xbox, etc. But man, only PlayStation feels like home. They're pissing me off a lot lately, but when I grab that controller and play those games, it's just magic. Oh, it's just magic. The DualSense, the haptic feedback, the 3D audio. Oh, the DualSense. Oh. All right, that was it. I'm gonna need to recharge after reading all of that fucking cringe. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.